Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from Attaboy Cowboy, and today I'm recording in El Salvador with the Santa Ana volcano right behind me. So I want to talk about travel safety. And before I start, let me talk about what it was like here about 15 years ago. I rented a car, my friend James, my friend Mike, in Cancun, and we drove all through Central America. We had an awesome time till we got to El Salvador. Drove into the capital, and we started asking people about, the major sites. And one of them was this volcano. We said, hey, what's the road like over here? What's the area like? They said, oh, don't go to that volcano. You'll get shot. I thought, damn. And everywhere I saw these really scary people with tattoos all over their faces, all these gang members. And they looked pretty intense, and they were staring right at us everywhere. So I said, okay, well, what about the beaches? The beaches are pretty famous. They have great surf here. They said, no, don't go there. You'll get raped. I said, oh, man, okay. I said, what about this national park? They said, you'll get kidnapped. And I thought, man, what the heck? What kind of place is this? Every tourist location was synonymous with a different egregious act. And we reconfirmed, and everybody said, don't. And then we saw these scary people walking around. We said, you know what? Let's bail. So we just stood around, hung out in the capital for a couple days, ate the great food, the pupusas. And then we got up at about 4 a.m. because we figured all the gang members, the guys with tattoos in their face and stuff, would be sleeping around that time. And we just bailed. We moved on to the next country. And ever since then, I haven't really had a very positive image of El Salvador. Whenever someone told me they were going to go here, I thought in my mind, wow, good luck. Or holy moly. And then growing up in Los Angeles with lots of Hispanic immigrants, there's a lot of El Salvadorian immigrants, and they equally shared some very egregious experiences they had here growing up in the 80s and 90s with the Civil War they had. So unfortunately, El Salvador has had a pretty tumultuous past. However, now they have a new president. He's pretty famous. He's like a rock star in the Latin American country community. His name is Bukele, and he came in and he started a massive crackdown, which many people say is brutal. He started rounding up everybody that looked like they might even be associated with gangs and threw them in prison. And they made this famous mega prison here called CCOT. And basically they rounded up and imprisoned about 70,000 people, which is about 2% of the population here. That's a lot. This place is only the size of about Massachusetts, smaller than Southern California. So it's not very big. And they place all these young men and women in prison, and they have them doing labor and all these other things. And a lot of people, in the United States, international community are pissed. They said this isn't cool, violating human rights. Maybe so. I'm sure there's some people mixed in there that probably shouldn't be. But this was a pretty brutal place. Considering how brutal it was, I think it needed a pretty brutal crackdown. But time will tell, what the right thing was to do. However, now I'm here again with my parents who are in their 70s, my sisters, and I wouldn't bring them somewhere where I thought it was dangerous. And we've had an amazing experience. I mean, this place, I don't think I've ever seen such a change in my life. I haven't seen any graffiti anywhere. It's completely gone. I think it must be some kind of national mandate. They immediately clean it up. There's no gang writing. Everywhere I went, it was some kind of gang territory when I came here before. All the scary people I saw around with all the gang writing all over their face and their bodies gone. They're all in prison, I suppose. Nobody's staring me down. No one's watching me. The people, like all Latin American countries, are really friendly, very nice. But they're so grateful to see you here. I haven't seen very many tourists here that I've experienced something I haven't really seen. If I walk into a place and I ask to buy something and they tell me $5, well, I pull out the $5. I say, sounds good. And then they say, you know what? I'm only going to charge you $4. And I'm like, okay. Most places, if you negotiate, they'll come down. But I'm not negotiating. I'm just agreeing to the price because it seems fair. And they're so grateful. It's touching, actually, that they lower the price for you. That's a sign of just how grateful the people are. And they're very kind. I mean, wow, everywhere I go, it seems like everybody's really going out of the way to be nice to my folks and I and my sisters. And we're doing a driving trip to the entire country. I haven't seen anything, and I've been to like 160 countries, that would worry me or make me think this place is unsafe. This place went from last, one of the most dangerous places on earth, to the safest in all of Latin America, maybe one of the safest in the world, I'm not sure, but it's very safe here, and the people are very cool. So if you're considering a travel destination, I would definitely put El Salvador on your radar. There's a lot of interesting places to visit. The coast is nice. We're headed to the beaches today. The beaches are so cool. Very pretty, great surf, black sand beaches, just a really pleasant place to come with your family. And the flights are actually very cheap. I think the government must be subsidizing the flights because they're about half the price of all the other Central American countries. So thank you for watching. And from El Salvador, this is Dr. Nesto. Thank you and goodbye.